Okay. Let's be dramatic. As the players take to the field, the roar of the crowd mixes with the sound of cleats pounding the grass, heralding the start of a dramatic and intense showdown. Who will emerge victorious in this epic battle for supremacy? Chiefs, sitting at 4th place on the log, are looking to make a statement as they return to domestic play after the World Cup. They will have to do so without their star player Njabulo Blom. The 8-ranked Golden Arrows, on the other hand, will be eager to prove their worth as they climb up the standing. The tension is high and the stakes are even higher. A win is a must for both teams. Hello and welcome to Kosi Nation Fan TV. I am Pilo, I am your host. This is where fans meet and talk about Kaizer Chiefs, Kosi Football Club. And in this video, we'll be previewing the DSTV Premiership match between Kaizer Chiefs and Golden Arrows at the Moses Mabhida Stadium. A game that will be interesting because if we look at the form of the teams right now, Arrows in their last 5 games, they've won 1, drawn 2 and lost 2. Chiefs has won 3, drawn 1 and lost 1. And it seems like the Chiefs are gaining in momentum going forward, and the Arrows won their last game and they'd been in a bad form. So it would be interesting, Uguti, will Arrows continue with their momentum, and will the Chiefs also continue where they ended, because they won against the Pirates, which is a really big game, if you know what I'm saying. Now, if you go straight to any into that is very important, Uguti, when we look at the goals conceded between the Chiefs and the Arrows, both of them have conceded 15 goals. Chiefs has scored 16 goals, Arrows has scored 15. So when it comes to goals scored and goals conceded, they are also similar in that regard. We will talk about other things as well as we continue to show you where and which battles will be key in this game. So I think when you go to the starting lineup, say Arrows, I think they will stick to their team that won against Imarisbek United with Umlungwana, Ndlovu, Zuk, Enqadi, Cele at the back, and that midfield trio which is very powerful, Dlamini Sibia and Ukhumalo, and then Phambili, Moon, Modi, Fikizolo. We will talk about Modi and Moon as the video continues. But now let's also talk about the starting 11 for Chiefs. Una is back fit, so he'll be starting. Solomons, he's been performing really well, unless something really weird happens with Reeve starts. But I see Solomons starting. And then you have Ukwinika, because, well, the scheme is Ukwinika, we know that. Dove has been terrific for us. And then Ushanti, we really don't have many options, and he's been okay, right? He's not been terrific, but he's been okay for me, so he can continue playing. Now, the interesting position is Uguti. Uplom is not there, so who's going to play? I know in the video I was talking about the replacement Kaplom, which I talked about Ustebe and Umat playing as a double pivot. But in the previous game that we played against the Arrows, they were very dominant in the midfield, and the moment we took out Uplom, because Uzwana was coaching the Chiefs at that time in the interim, but when we took out Uplom, when we took Uplom to right back in that game, they started dominating us in midfield, and they actually came back and scored 2 goals after we changed positioning Uplom. So I think Uzwane will have to go with someone more defensive, and in this case, it will be Cole. I know what I said, Cole, the legs are gone and stuff like that, but we'll need to be solid, and he's the one that is naturally a defensive midfielder in the team, and Umati, as much as a good going forward, he hasn't shown being so great going backwards. And Umar, think will play alongside him if he doesn't play as an 8, because I've seen Guti Chiefs have insisted in playing a double pivot Lapa, and I know one is more defensive and one is offensive, so it will be like this. And then Pamgwabo, I really think Umshini should continue playing, although I wouldn't put it past Uzwane ukuthi angadlalisa Umshini, because the thing is, if you're playing Umshini in that position, what you're essentially saying is that UKG won't be playing here. Why am I saying that? Because if you play Umshini here, then that means Utolu will be playing here, and then Utupri will play here, and then Ukelep will be here. So I-inclusion kamshini here decides ukuthi does Ashley play or will he get benched and then Usekhota will play? I don't know, because to me it seems like if there's anyone who's getting benched, Utoli did get benched and served his time as like a bench player for a while, but in recent games it seems like the person that will get benched is one of the wingers, which is Ukechi or Udupri. So it would be interesting to see, and I think it might actually be Ashley who will start in this position, because Dupri Usekhota can always come in the second half and inject pace on that side, and Caleb Vele, there are no arguments. He's the one who's going to start there because he is our main man, Lapa Pambili. He's our target man who we will be looking for targeting ukuthi simnikeze ibhola. Now, going back to this, another thing that would be interesting to see is since uSolomon's overlapper kanje, and we're pushing Udoli inverts and stuff like that, what will happen with Umodi? Will Umodi track uSolomon's and come back with him, or will he stay in the space so that, let's introduce the ball, if the ball is here kumlungwana, then he can play two Modi and then they can break, because we know vele ukuthi uSolomon's, as much as recovery rate yakhe or pace yakhe is really good, it will just be interesting to see ukuthi will Umodi stay up or will he track him, because if he stays up, then it leaves the responsibility to Sbia to drop and track with Udoli, and then for Ucele to stay with uSolomon's out wide. And if that does happen, ukuthi Usbia is now tracking Udoli, then that will leave a space open for Uguti. So Cole is here for Matt to then try and use less, because if Arrows is using Umodi as an outlet, then bazoba nenkinga ukuthi they won't have numbers to match us when we are attacking them. And it will just be interesting to see this battle between uSolomon's and Umodi in any case, because I think there will be an extra motivation for Umodi to perform, because we know Uguti, according to his agents and even we Arrows, Uguti, Umodi was ready to sign for the Chiefs. He wanted to leave the Arrows, but then he was disappointed because the Chiefs chipped out and ended up not signing him. So in that case, Wakaninga signing for the Chiefs. But now it will just be interesting to see how he will perform Umodi, because even if Umodi does track back, let's say Solomon's comes here and is attacking and Umodi is tracking him and Utoli inverts, and basically we have man for man, now Umun could be the one who remains again and tries to occupy the less space, so that again if they get the ball, then they can play it here. Because the reason why I'm talking about this side, like what right so much Uguti is the one that they might attack, is because we know ngapha kwa left, if we push up all our players, ba attacker here, ba attack ngenala, is Uguti Ashley will occupy the space, and then Umshini will be here or will be roaming around the space, and Caleb around here. Uhlanti usually stays in the space, so Uhlanti by default vele usuke deep, and if Uhlanti deep, that means asikho available space for attacking in any case, because they know ukuthi Uhlanti will be here quick enough to recover. Although we have seen ukuthi at times when Uplom was still with Chiefs, a game in a Pirate, for example, sometimes Uhlanti will be caught even though he's deep, and then Uplom, because Uplom was still there, will have to move across and cover the space. So angazi ngempela ukuthi kuzokwenzakalani, because as I said, the legs go cold to cover here and then to cover here. It will be tricky, and that means Umart will be the one who will have to cover the space in case Umun is attacking the space, or if Umodi is attacking the space and Umun is going through the middle. So that means Umart will have to do the extra work of covering him. But then if he does that, Uguti is cautious in his movement going forward, then that means we will be lacking numbers going forward. Uguti, if the arrows are like, okay, we're dropping everyone man is attacker and we're just leaving one man up front. Now you have arrows with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 behind the ball, and you have the Chiefs with only 2, 4, 5 and then 6 players on the other side trying to attack them. So I think positioning Amat and how much will be used in tomorrow's game will be interesting, because if he's cautious of Umodi attacking the space that will be vacated by Solomons, that means the numbers going forward will not be so great. And with Ukol not being able to cover all that space, then it makes it really interesting. Will they want Ukol to be working that hard, especially knowing Guti he will not be able to play 90 minutes at the highest intensity, especially after such a long break. It will really be interesting. I think Chiefs has an edge against the Arrows, and I think we can actually win this game. And I will predict the Chiefs will win this game either 3-1 or 2-1. I'm giving Arrows a goal because the Chiefs just wants to. It seems as if they want to concede a goal every single time. So give me your match predictions. Tell me what you think will be key in tomorrow's game down on the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you on the next video, and until next time, remember, equals Alpelu Moy.